Dear first year faculty, I'm Noel, SNH Department Exam Branch Coordinator. Now let us see how to generate question paper for the created modules for lab internal marks entry. I hope as from previous video, you all created the modules for lab internal marks entry. As per the same procedure, go to the result analysis, department, then section 1 to SEM class C. Again, click on add module. From the given instructions, I hope you all created these all modules. Now I'll go to the first module, day-to-day CA1. Simply click on generate question paper. Here, uh, the first box is basic instructions. Anyhow, for each question paper, there will be some instructions. Here in this applied physics course, we mentioned that instructions as student day-to-day performance is evaluated and average marks are taken as final marks. Those marks are going to be given as day-to-day final marks. So this instruction we mentioned. Accordingly, you can mention some instruction. So how to generate this dialog box? Later I will show you instructions. And along with that instructions, I mentioned the experiment names also. It's a wish. And the next one is section. In this second box, here you can see in the second box section. Here that section mentioned as part A. In that part A, then I created a descriptive question. So the descriptive question you can mention your experiment names. In our physics lab, daily we are conducting all 9 experiments. So I mentioned all 9 experiments because for all 64 or 65 members, if you are going to do first experiment, if you are second or like that, all 9 experiments we are conducting. So I mentioned all 9 experiments. For example, in your lab, you are conducting only first 5 experiments for first lab internal. You can mention 5 experiments or experiments related questions. In such a way, how to generate a question paper for day-to-day CI1. Now, I'll go to the dummy module, day-to-day CI3. Just a minute. Right now, when you open your the day-to-day CI1 module, screen will appear like this. Now, click on Add menu, click on Instructions. When you click on that instructions, these dialog box will open. Here you have to give some instructions. As I told you, day-to-day experiment average marks are going to be taken as day-to-day marks. That instruction I mentioned in my day-to-day CA1 module. In such a way, you can give some instructions. Like here, I'm going to mention something aim. Then click on add. So instruction box is created. Now next again, click on add menu. Click on section. Now, when you click on the section, here the section I mentioned like part A, similar way also in your lab also, similar way you can mention like part A and simply click on add. Now the section is created. In this section, you have to mention the descriptive question. So in this section, right side, you can click on plus symbol. When you click on plus symbol, here you can see descriptive question. Click on the descriptive question. Now here you have to type that questions. Anyhow, in our physics lab, daily we are conducting all 9 experiments. That's why in that day-to-day CAN module, I mentioned all 9 experiments. In case in your lab, only you are conducting 5 experiments for first lab internal, those 5 experiments, experiment names or experiment related questions you can mention. So here I'm going to mention one experiment name, energy gap. Then mention enter marks for each this question. That is 10 marks, day-to-day marks, 10 marks, and come down and accessible from question bank with my institute and add. In this way, you have to generate a question paper for day-to-day CI1. I hope you got my point. Right now, I'll go to that second module, YOY CI1. Simply, I will show you in such a way you are going to generate the question paper. Same process. Now, YOY CI1. So, instructions here I mentioned question will be asked in given experiment. That is instruction. Now, that section. Section name here I mentioned Viva Voice. And when we click on plus, again you have to click on descriptive question. That descriptive question matter here I mentioned oral, written Viva Voice questions will be asked from P1 to P12 experiments. So in such a way, you can mention the question number, same marks 10 and add. In such a way, you are going to add question paper for Viva Voice CA1. Next, third module, exam CA1. In this exam CI1 instructions, because in physics lab, whenever we given the question experiment to that experiment related aim, apparatus, formula, those all things they are going to write initially before doing that experiment. So those things I mentioned as instructions. Same thing. Next again part one, and in that part one, now here I mentioned each and every question because out of nine experiments they may get any one experiment. So which experiment they got, that experiment they are going to perform. To that experiment we are giving exam marks. So I mentioned each and every question as a descriptive question. Like that, all nine experiments will be there, right? Anyhow, here I mentioned all 12 experiments. Accordingly, which experiment they got, to that experiment we are giving marks. That marks will be the final exam marks. In such a way, you have to create these modules for mid-marks entry. This is mid-marks entry for mid-marks entry question paper generation. In this way, you have to generate question paper for mid-marks entry. In next video, I will tell you how to generate a report to submit in exam branch with the necessary signatures. Thank you.